In this tutorial, we will discuss about the topics packing and unpacking tuples. Packing is a simple syntax which lets us create tuples without using the conventional notation, that is, defining a tuple without the parenthesis. And coming to unpacking, Python tuples unpacking happens when we assign values from a tuple to a sequence of variables. So let us understand packing and unpacking using some examples. So here I have defined a tuple without using the conventional notation. That means I have defined a sequence of elements separated by commas without the parenthesis. When we define a tuple like this, Python creates a tuple of 4 values and then assigns it to A. So this is what happens. Python in the background creates a tuple like this by packing. So this is known as tuple packing. So here I have defined 4 variables: name, age, height and weight. In these variables in a tuple have been assigned to A. This assignment statement is equivalent to 4 assignment statements. When we do this assignment, Python is going to unpack the values in the tuple A and then assign the values to the variables defined to the left of the equal to sign. So these are the values in the tuple A: John, 7 is the age, height is 3 feet, then weight is 20 kilos. So this assignment statement here unpacks the values in A and then assigns these values to the variables here. Remember, the number of values in a tuple have to be equal to the number of variables that we have defined to the left of the equal to sign. The concept of tuple packing and unpacking could be used for swapping values. Say for example, I have defined 2 variables x and y. X contains the value 2 whereas y contains 3. So the values in x and y can be swapped using this statement, and Python in the background first converts the sequence of values to a tuple. So it first packs the values into a tuple, and y and x contain the values 3 and 2, and here x and y. And the next step is to unpack the values in y and x. So the value in y, which is 3, is assigned to the variable x. The value 2 is assigned to the variable y. Now x contains 3 and y contains 2. So we have swapped values using tuple packing and unpacking. So here I have defined a variable a containing 4 elements separated by commas, and once I execute this line, Python would pack all of these values into a tuple. So let us now display A. So A is a tuple. As you can see, it has been enclosed in parentheses. Now I am going to define 4 variables: name, and then age, height and weight in a tuple, and assign this to the tuple A. As we know, this single statement here is equivalent to four separate assignment statements. That means the values in A are assigned to the variables that we have defined here. And remember, the number of variables on the left should be equal to the values, that is, the values in tuple A. So let's execute this line and then check the value assigned to the variable name. The variable name has been assigned the value John, or the string John. Age is 7. Height is 3 feet. Weight. So the values have been unpacked from the tuple A and then assigned to the variables on the left, and this is known as tuple unpacking. Now say for example you define 3 variables in a tuple here and then assign to the tuple A. So when you execute this line of code, this is the error that you get. It's a value error and it says too many values to unpack. And then we have also discussed about swapping of values. So let's define two variables x and then y. Now we are going to swap the values in the variables x and y. So this statement, as discussed, it is going to pack the values in y comma x, as you can see here, and then this tuple is going to be unpacked in the next step and then assigned to the variables x and y that are to the left side of the equal to sign. Now let's display x. X is 3 and y is 2.